Have you ever wondered why you can't let go of someone who didn't even make you happy? Why your mind keeps going back to them, even though your heart remembers the pain? What if you were never in love with the person, but with the emotional intensity, the highs, the chaos, the fantasy? Today, I'll show you the first 3 of 6 psychological signs that you're attached to the pain, not the relationship. And once you see them, you won't be able to unsee them. Sign 1. You miss the idea, not the reality. Let that sink in. You don't actually miss them, not the person who is standing in front of you day after day. You miss the fantasy version you created in your head, the person they could have been, the potential you so desperately hoped they'd grow into. It's a powerful illusion. Your brain isn't replaying the arguments, the disappointments, the cold silences. No, it's replaying the highlight reel of a movie that never really existed. Your brain clings to these dreams, not the actual memories. Because the reality, the day-to-day truth of it all, it wasn't beautiful, it was painful. And sometimes acknowledging that feels like a bigger loss than holding on to their ghost. Sign 2. Chaos feels familiar. This one goes deep. If you grew up around inconsistency, emotional distance, or instability, your nervous system may confuse chaos with connection. It's not a conscious choice. It's a matter of wiring. So a calm, stable partnership can actually feel boring. A predictable, loving person can feel off. Why? Because your body is primed for the roller coaster. The gut-wrenching drop and the thrilling climb. Those intense emotional spikes feel like chemistry, like undeniable passion. But it's not passion. It's a trauma response. You're not broken. You're conditioned. Your nervous system is just running an old program, searching for a home it recognizes, even if that home was built on shaky ground. Sign 3. You feel addicted to the relief. This is where the brain chemistry takes over. The relationship hurt you constantly. There was anxiety. There was pain. But then, the moment they apologized or gave you a single crumb of affection or finally returned after pulling away, what happened? A flood, a powerful rush of dopamine, the same neurotransmitter tied to addiction. Your brain isn't just feeling love, it's getting a fix. You become addicted, not to the person, but to the relief from the pain they created. It's a vicious cycle. The pain creates the craving, and their brief moments of comfort feel like the cure. And that feeling of relief, it can feel so much like love, even when it absolutely isn't. So you miss the idea, not the person. Chaos feels like home, and you're addicted to the relief. When you start to see these patterns, it's not about blaming yourself. It's about understanding the wiring. You weren't in love with a person. You were caught in a loop with a feeling of potential, a feeling of familiarity, a feeling of relief. Recognizing this is the first, most powerful step you can take. It's the moment you stop looking back at the fantasy and start looking forward at the reality inside of you. It's how you stop chasing the pain and finally start walking toward peace. The key isn't in their hands anymore. It's in yours. Let's talk about the 4th sign that what you experienced wasn't love. You romanticized the pain. You interpret the constant emotional suffering as proof of deep love. It's a story we see in movies, hear in songs, this idea that the greatest loves are the hardest ones. The more you had to fight for their attention, the more you had to prove your worth, the more meaningful it all felt when you got a scrap of affection. It's a dangerous equation where your effort is on one side and their validation is on the other. But real love, the kind that sustains and nurtures, doesn't require you to suffer to earn it. It doesn't set up an obstacle course and call it devotion. It meets you where you are. This leads directly into the fifth sign. You feel responsible for their emotions. You cast yourself in the role of the fixer, the healer, the savior. You weren't just their partner, you were their emotional regulator, their crisis manager, the person tasked with carrying their pain so they wouldn't have to. You learned to anticipate their moods, to walk on eggshells to keep the peace, to absorb their anger or their sadness because you thought that's what love was, to fix them, to save them. This isn't a partnership. It's an emotional labor contract you never signed, one with endless, unwritten clauses that left you completely drained. Love is about supporting someone, not single-handedly managing their entire inner world. And now, the sixth sign. This one is subtle, and it often appears after the relationship is over. You don't actually want them back, you just want closure. When you find yourself daydreaming about them returning, be honest about what you're really craving. It's not them. It's not a shared future. It's answers. It's validation. It's the fantasy of a final conversation where everything finally makes sense, where they finally see your worth. You don't want a relationship. You just want the pain to mean something. And this is the hardest part to hear. You're not attached to the person anymore. You're attached to the pain itself, because the pain is the last thing that connects you. Letting go of it feels like severing the final thread. If these signs feel uncomfortably accurate, I want you to take a breath. You are not alone in this. And it's so important to recognize that what you experienced wasn't true healthy love. It was a state of emotional survival, tangled up with hope. It was you, with a good heart, trying your best in a situation that was designed to deplete you. But here is the fundamental truth you need to hold on to. You deserve a connection that doesn't drain you. You deserve a love that feels safe, steady, and real. A love that feels like coming home, not like walking into a storm. And your healing, your journey forward, it begins the very moment you stop chasing the pain, the very moment you stop trying to make sense of it, and you start choosing peace for yourself. I'm really curious to know what you think. Head to the comments section and let me know, which of these signs hit you the hardest? Sometimes just naming it is a powerful first step. And if you want more conversations about emotional growth, about healing, and about finding that steady, real connection, you know where to find me. Be good to yourself.